Here we are. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. I'm here with a phenomenal group of individuals. I forgot to give them all the round of applause before, but let's. It's
It's
never too
never too
late.
late.
It's never too late to clap it up for the crew. We are here, the Love Entrepreneurs crew, and we're talking today about resiliency. We're talking about perseverance. We're talking about grit. We're talking about determination. We're talking about what it means to have the power to carry on regardless. That's what we're talking about today. And there's some other things, obviously, that we're going to talk about. You know that we're here from Love Entrepreneurs, and you know that Love Entrepreneurs is a fellowship of business owners and visionaries and entrepreneurs that help ordinary people build extraordinary businesses. And so you know that that's who we are and that's what we're about. So you know that that will be a intricate part of this conversation, along with some other great gems that these phenomenal folk have in store for you. So if you want to go around real quick, people have seen us before, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. We'll start with Lisa Brown. I'm gonna go in the order that I see on the grid here. So, uh, Lisa Brown, you up?
Hi, my name is Lisa Brown. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Solutions via Carulian. We are a solutions firm, strategic communications firm in central Pennsylvania. I have a background in medical imaging and clinical specialties in brain therapy. And I started my own firm upon a short stint over in California and was back in Pennsylvania. So I'm here as a member of Love Entrepreneurs, introducing Love Entrepreneurs to the United States market and around the world.
That's all right. Lisa Brown is someone that you want to get in contact with if you want to get your mind right. Now, that's not all she does, but if you want to get your mind right, that's who you definitely need to contact, Lisa Brown. And Lisa Brown, thank you for being here. My guy,
Thank you
Rob,
for having me.
absolutely. Rob House, the
Yes.
humologist.
How's it going, man? That's how you pronounce my name. You never get it wrong, ever. How's it going? How's your family? It's an easy word to remember. And I'm also kind of segue into what I do. I make people's lives easier with automation. I'm a humologist, as you can see right there. Humologist is combining humans and technology, right? And so when you combine humans and technology, you get humology. Well, the person who knows about humology is a humologist. Now, what's important about that? Well, if you can find a way to use technology the right way, you can have a better life, guaranteed. This is the way it is. I mean, yeah, you got to deal with the other things in life, but if you want to have a good jump, a good head start, and you want to have the best possibilities, find a way how to use automation. And so I'm a partner with Simply Automate. We're a technology firm where we actually do that, educate so you can automate. We love doing it. You know we love doing it because I have a heart above my head. So that means that what I'm saying is true. Yes. And I pass the heart to you, Peter Russell.
Indeed, indeed. So let's go to Mr. Peter Russell.
Smooth. That was smooth.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay. That was a cheeky skip. You skipped a letter, but hey, okay, I'll be quick. My name is Peter Russell. I'm a sales trainer and business coach, and my job is to help you get the results you really want in the shortest time humanly possible. How about that?
That's
There
short
it
and
is.
sweet. Yeah.
There it is.
That's it.
And you can get there in as quick amount of time as his introduction.
Can I just say,
Thank you,
he's
good
also,
sir.
can I just say, Oliver, he's also extremely good at getting you from the top of the mountain right to ground zero, if you want to.
Yeah, no request is strange at all. I don't judge people. Whatever you want, I'll make it happen.
You'll make it happen. That's awesome. That's
Nice.
awesome. And last but definitely not least, Larry Coslet, tell us who you are.
Yeah, hi, I'm Larry. So I founded Love Entrepreneurs 7 years ago, actually, because I wanted businesses to really experience the love of what it's like to be held by other entrepreneurs, even when you can't love yourself, when the journey gets too tough and you need a support. battalion sometimes around you. And the beauty of what we do in Love Entrepreneurs is we share our experience, strength, and hope with each other so that we can all become better entrepreneurs. We've got our own currency that we use, which is called silver. I've got an engaging interest in that business too. I have my own law firm, and I run a charity.
There's always something that can get in somebody's way at some time or another. How do we overcome that?
We get out. I've got one. The number one lesson here for me personally was to learn to get out of my own way. And by that I mean we have as entrepreneurs, right? We've got a job to do. We've got to sell our own businesses. We've got to do these things that we just sometimes don't want to do. We've got to sell. We've got to network. We've got to be our accountant and the rest of it. You've got to be disciplined, and you cannot afford to get in your own way, because when you get in your own way, what happens is you get overwhelmed. You're susceptible to listening to every opinion that everybody else has about you. Because running a business or creating a business is simply a process. Once you understand that process, how you're going to feel at different points in it, what to expect, it's less of a scary thing. So, it can be quite a lonely journey. And that's what we've tried to do in Love Entrepreneurs, is create this fellowship. We've deliberately called it a fellowship because we can call each other anytime, day or night, and say, hey, I've got a problem. Hey, what do you think of this? And the idea of the big fix is somebody comes along and showcases their business, and we all get around them as business owners and entrepreneurs, and we come up with solutions to their problems, and we help them implement those things. So the reality is I have to get out my own way, and I have to get out of ego. My ego is a problem. That's where overwhelm and fear sits. Fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. But when we're on our own and we haven't got people around us, remember those times we were all sitting in offices surrounded by our colleagues and friends and things. We had banter and you had jokes and that sort of thing. It keeps us going. As entrepreneurs, we don't have that. So we have to create an attachment and affiliation to some community that can keep us up, even when we're down.
Community. Talking about community, the power of it, it's important. And that's what this discussion is really about. Love Entrepreneurs, this business fellowship, it's about a community. It's about helping ordinary people build extraordinary businesses. That's a perfect timing to drop that. I mean, and you do that when you're in a great community. The communities that don't thrive, the ones that don't work together. The communities that do thrive, the ones that work together.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We are talking today about determination and carrying on regardless. Look, just do what we do. We already made our kids to watch this, and we even blackmailed our best friends by exposing their deepest, darkest secrets. So they will drop some comments, and you can see some different surnames popping up on this feed. No, I'm joking. It is literally about understanding that all of us are on a mission. The mission has a purpose and its tools. So if you are the best kept secret, wherever you are, you would never ever be able to achieve the objective of your mission. So you need to get out there and make yourself known, not just known to the point of, someone once heard about you, and it probably wasn't really nice what they've heard, but they need to, people really need to know you. So know you, understand, you care what you do, why you do it, and this is only going to happen if you are consistent. If you don't allow people to forget about you, because it's so easy in this day and age of information overload.
Good point. Yeah. Consistency is the mother of mastery. Somebody said it. Consistency is the mother of mastery. It's a great child.
Yeah, that's how one really goes from, there's so much that goes into going from ordinary to extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
But something that I like to point out is to help people, like when they see something,
Yeah.
actually understand what it is that they're looking at. Because we have a tendency to kind of go through life and
Yeah.
we just see what we see and we just move on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going about your day and 11:30 in the morning, you see, lots of people are rushing back and forth. They have their lunch break, they're about to start, or there's a hustle and bustle. People try to get to work and so on, and all these things happen. And then 11:30, like right before noon, if you're free enough and inclined that day, you're driving out and you see a bunch of men on a golf course, and they're enjoying their day. And people wonder, well, how do people get to just do that? Just do what you want,
Mm-hmm.
like whenever you want in the middle of the day, because but then when you check it out and upon further inspection, a lot of times you'll find that that group of people who are out there playing golf at 11:30 while other people are kind of shuffling, try to get clock in for work, they're all friends. They're all owners of their own companies,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they have managers managing their businesses while they can go out and have breakfast together and go and play, golf at 11:30 in the morning. So it's the understanding of that support, because they each know what they do, and they each know that whatever their companies might be, that they interact with each other. So
Right.
they keep each other going, as well as funneling revenue, even because
Mm-hmm.
one might be, oh, this is the construction company owner, and this person is the materials, this
Yeah.
one is the engineers, the blueprinting, right? And they're all hanging out. But it's that support that ultimately helps in the success of their business and the revenue that they bring in, because they know they have to work with somebody, because they can't do everything alone. So it's good that, hey, it's my buddy over here that owns this, and we can do business together, and we can also do business over here, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a support thing. And when you're just starting out as a small business, as we know, most businesses don't succeed because it's like you're just kind of thrown into a fast moving current, and you're just kind of moving along, bobbing along, and trying to figure it out. But unfortunately, our greatest lessons are learned through knowledge, which
Mm-hmm.
can only come from your own experience.
Experience.
you know
Yep.
so
Yep. Yep.
what I love about this, what we've developed here, is this fellowship for businesses and entrepreneurs, so they know that there's support there. These are people that you can actually work with, so we can actually help each other get revenue, and
Yeah.
we have our own spending system. We have Silva, that's our currency, so we can do business with each other while we support each other
Yep. Yep.
developmentally.
I think
So
one
this
thing,
is a
Lisa,
really grand
sorry,
thing.
let me interrupt you briefly, but I think that the idea of the support. So there's so many networks out there that you hear people, they come along and they go, "Oh, hi, my name is blah blah, and I'm an accountant, and I'm a tax advisor. I am brilliant," and or "Oh, my name is blah blah, and I'm awesome," right? And that's it. Period. Well, that's great. No, like and trust. I think not. I mean, we decide to do here, guys, is actually stand this on its head and say you're going to earn your know, like, and trust by coming on and doing a big fix, which is free to do, doesn't cost you anything. And you can share your problem or your idea or your passion, your dream, whatever it might
Yes.
be, and get loads of solutions from other motivated entrepreneurs, right? And the thing is, we then have a coaching program or a mentoring program that we take you through, we implement this big fix for you. We basically solution build for you. So Peter and I are part of the mentoring team, and we do financing for people. Lisa does all the mindset work, which is really, really important, especially when it comes to the determination to carry on. And then Oliver and Rob then do the tech team, So between all of us, we've got it covered. We've even got our own currency, crumbs. We'll even give you your own currency to use. So actually, there is no reason why you will not succeed. But the people who do not succeed don't understand that actually running your own business is the biggest self-development experience you will ever go through. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what? You don't have to go through it alone. The people who tend to fail are those who isolate from other like minded individuals. There's no problem that anybody in the group can't answer to us because we don't know the answer. It's going to be huge. Having this fellowship, I can pick up the phone if I've got a tax problem, a legal problem I don't know the answer to. I can pick the phone to other lawyers in the group, and it really is a lifesaver.
Let's go to that big fix again. Let's put that up again and elaborate on that so folks know what this big fix is all about. So we've talked about a few things. So Love Entrepreneurs, Business Fellowship, Networking, conglomerate group here, global, all around the world, but this is obviously online, so we can help each other right here in our own living room. So Love Entrepreneurs is the group, right? The big fix is the platform. The big fix is the business building fellowship where you have your peers actually taking a look at your business and giving their own individual insights on how they could help you move forward. And so what's big about that is you go into an opportunity where you're only going to get information on how to build your business, how to make it better, how to get more customers, how to have a better online presence, how to do things you probably didn't even know how to do. And so that's the whole point. And then from that big fix, there's also, we talked about, there's a currency. And so you'll learn more about that as we go deeper. But the whole point is to make sure that businesses have what they need to provide for their customers, right? And to provide for their family. And what do you need to do that? You need resources. What are those resources? You need relationship capital and you need capital, financial capital. You also need some emotional, mental capital, Lisa. Hello. We need that capital. So you make those deposits. So anyway, this is Love Entrepreneurs.
First and foremost.
Big fix. Get your big fix. It's free, by the way. This is a free opportunity to get an evaluation about your business to see how you can get better, right? And also an opportunity to get around people who are thinking about what I just said.
Yeah, I think the beauty of that too is that the beauty of doing the big fix is that you get around folk that can help uh nudge you and push you and pull you if need be, as it relates to carrying on regardless, right? Because if we're talking about the art of determination and consistency, and if we're talking about getting out of our own way and understanding the need for support and understanding the need to get in a great community, what better way to do it than to be a part of something that is already established and that is designed to help you do that. Now, let's give some love to the folk that are watching now or watching via replay, and just give them a small taste of what it looks like to be around some folk that can pour into you in a way that leaves you energized to develop this grit and to carry on regardless. I want to start with Lisa because a lot of this starts right here. A lot of this talking
All of
about
it.
being able to carry on and to persevere in the head, right? So what would you say to that person who is like, listen, man, I hear what you're saying and I want what you got. You guys seem energized, but I don't know. It's something it's that hump I just can't get over that can just get me off to the races. And we know that it starts here. So what would you tell that person?
There's nothing there's nothing easy about any of this, right? Let's be clear. When we do these things, these are exceptional steps that we are taking because there's a reason why, a lot of us are, we work for someone else because it's easier. It is because when you're trying to develop your own thing and you're trying to, make the correct decisions while real life is also happening and you're experiencing grief, you've lost someone. which a lot of us have, before and after COVID, right? So some of us probably got closer to grief than we ever have before. We have, so many different variables that are happening around us that affect us here. And this is, again, here the root of everything, because this only moves because this part of my brain is telling it to do that. That's how this thing works. This is a computer we have here. And personally, after a couple decades in the medical profession, in both medical imaging, infrared lighting systems, electromagnetic fields, and working with these things and their effect on the brain, I just feel like the ignorance needs to stop. We need to understand this body that we're in all day, every day. We need to just get to know it and really understand what happens, and understand that basically everything that our body does is governed by this. Every move we make, because it doesn't do anything without this directing. So it's just so important. We need to know the physiology of what is happening so that we can make better decisions that will help us, accomplish our goals. But I just don't feel that we can do that until we know our full body, what it really looks like. There's a reason why there's like Eastern medicine and Western medicine, and why, one side of the world is more into working with energies, and others, more drugs and pharmaceuticals. So we just need to understand physiology. We need to understand our bodies, and we need to understand, when we're making decisions, what does it mean? Where is it coming from? What makes some things happen and some things not happen? And we need to, have our full faculties. So that's why, with my curriculum that I'm working on, I'm trying to give like a crash course in some things that we may not have seen probably since high school, a lot of us, and refamiliarize ourselves with ourselves and how things are connected and just how this brain works, so that we can optimize that. Once we understand ourselves and what's really happening around us, then that is the tool that we need to affect change on our lives directly and purposefully.
There it is.
So that is the goal of what it is that I am looking to do with Love Entrepreneurs, is to educate us on things that should be so elementary. We shouldn't have to learn these things now, but we just don't know it. And I'm tired of us not knowing, from being in the ER for as many years as I have, and the things that I've seen, and just the disconnection that I saw with patients that just have no idea what's going on with their body, and they're kind of looking for somebody to tell them. It's our
Lisa,
responsibility.
can I ask you a question there? So why
Sure.
do you think then? Are you suggesting that as children growing up, we were sort of free, if you like? So where has this disconnection happened, in your opinion?
It seems like a demographics thing to me, because if you were raised in the eastern side, right? We call this Western medicine over here where I am in the USA, right? And like a lot of pharmaceuticals. But when you're dealing with certain parts of, say, Asia or even Africa, they have a different understanding of life and how you learn, and even the body and how we understand it and how it works. So the education varies dependent upon where you were born, because some of the understandings that I plan to teach are cultural, with some other, with different peoples around the world. But because there's a certain understanding of things with some people. For instance, like, we know that, or hopefully people are understanding more about grounding, the fact that, just walking around barefoot outside helps your red blood cells, helps them to flow freer. It slows things down just by being barefoot outside, because of the electrical force that's in the ground.
I
And we
am.
are also electric.
Woo!
Okay, so
Ground
when
in,
the state
ground in,
flows
ground
through us,
I
and
think
we
you're too
take a
carried
nice
away
deep
there, Rob.
breath in.
It's like you don't need to electrocute yourself.
I mean, you know how it is in the wintertime, you're walking around, you're shocking people for fun sometimes. That's
in.
electric. We can do that, and
Yeah,
we just
you're right.
I want to bring these concepts and make it not seem like it's something out there. No, it's
No,
right
and
here.
it's so
It's right
important.
here.
It's so important that what you're talking about, and one of the reasons, well, there's multiple reasons, but one of the reasons it's so important to do some of these practices like grounding, putting your feet on the on the grass outside, getting the ions, understanding who you are, where you are, how you think. What Lisa's talking about, getting your mind set together. The reason why this is important because the energy that you use, the brain uses 25%, energy of the body. You got 100%, 25% is going to your brain. Your brain is using 25% of your daily energy. And so what is the brain doing? It's thinking about thoughts and ideas and whatever you need to do next. So the more energized your brain could be, the better you will be, right? What does that mean? It means your production is going to be higher, more efficient. And when you have higher efficiency in your production, what do you feel? You feel good. What does good feel? Confidence comes in. What happens with confidence? Now we're starting to flow, right? The first law, what's the first law? What's in motion stays in motion? Yes, the first law, right? And so the goal is mindset ready grow. How do you get this? How do you get to mindset ready grow? Well, first, obviously, get around some people that are going to be thinking the thoughts, that you want to be thinking, help you getting in the direction that you need to be going. That's the key. I'm going to say it again. Getting in the environment. I can't stress it enough. Even this even affects your DNA. The environment is so big. They even changed the way they looked at science. They used to say there was about 95% of these deficiencies will be passed down genetically, they would say, right? Now they're finding out that 95% don't get passed down genetically, right? It's epigenetics, not genetically. And epigenetics is what's above the gene, meaning environmentally. All that environmental stuff is now what's going to affect the outcome of you. So it's interesting.
Right.
Even from
As
the
well as
inside.
generations. As well as
Yes.
generations. Epigenetics is generations of
Generation.
your past that is
Yes.
in you now.
You
So
got
you
all.
can be affected by things right now that have
That's
nothing to
right.
do with you. At least because a lot of us, our egos run everything. We can't get anything wrong, don't want to fail. And, we need to get past that and understand that, hey, I can still use help. I can still use assistance. It doesn't mean that I'm incompetent. It just means to have more knowledge to pull from and to have these entrepreneurs who are ready to do that in this type of fellowship directly for you to make things better. That's something that I've never seen, not on this magnitude. So this
Yeah.
really is a big deal. And we just have to understand who we are and our most basic components so that we understand why we're doing what we're doing. What I think it is that people just don't realize that there's a whole lot of information out here available. Because the
Yeah.
things that I discussed, they're scientifically proven. There's nothing to debate. It's not a belief thing. It is what it is. It is, how is your brain going to deal with the depths of this information? And that's what we kind of have to open ourselves up to and understand that, we can't see everything that's here in front of
Well,
us.
and
And we know this because of the light spectrum and the fact that we see about 1% of it.
Right. So let me ask you guys this in light of that. What are some very practical things, and you guys can go around the room, what are some very practical things that you all do on a day-to-day basis, one or two, that help to fuel this ability to carry on regardless in you personally?
Sporadically throughout the day, I just say, and I don't say it out loud, just in my mind, I am grateful. I am thankful. I'm abundant. I am open. I'll just, whenever I have a spare moment to myself, I will just say that. Because the more you do that, it is going to reach down into your subconscious. So throughout my day, I just remind myself, it's a form of reminding, but it's also repetitious practice to remind and say to myself that I am grateful, I am thankful. I look around, I just adore everything I see, the trees, the sky. I'm just thankful. And those are the positive thoughts that you kind of need to have, and stay away from negative. Because if you feel like a negative thing come in, try to reframe it. We just trying to just shake that off. Like, just don't even come over here when it comes onto the negative stuff. Just stay mindful and just stay positive. And then, I'm really surprised at how things are now. My life is completely different than how it was a year ago or even 6 months ago. It just, every day is like a different day, because my understanding of life and the timelines and everything's completely different than it was. So I live a fulfilled life because I'm so 100% into right now, this minute with you all. That's all there is.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
100% of me is here. And when you stay this way and you are focused and you are just where you are right now, that's half the battle. Because most of the
Oh
time
my
our
goodness.
brain is somewhere else doing
Yeah.
something else. Some percentage of it. But when you can be 100% laser focused, that's when magic happens. And we're so scattered most of the time, we don't get near that. Not even near
Sounds
it.
like
It takes
gratitude. Sounds like Lisa's practice is a gratitude attitude.
Yep, gratitude. I love it.
Les,
The
Les,
attitude
Les Brown. Les
everything
Brown
to
said,
that.
what was Les Brown's quote? He said, your attitude will determine your attitude will determine
Determine
your
your
determine your
altitude.
gratitude.
Yeah, your gratitude will determine your attitude, which will determine your altitude. I'm like, yo, that is amazing. It's so true.
Yep.
Your gratitude
It's
will
true.
determine your
I
attitude, which will determine your
You know,
altitude. That's great.
I do something slightly different, right? So I meditate in the morning, and I have my daily reflections to read, and I contemplate the day ahead, and I've
Good
got my sort
stuff.
of little routine. But I do something actually every day, which I have a little routine. I have to do two things every day that I don't want to do, that help somebody else, but I can't tell anybody about it.
Yeah, definitely you don't share.
Mm.
Because that's between you and yourself. It's so
That,
personal.
yeah.
And
But the point is, so the ego wants to share. The ego wants to, hey, I did this, I did that, I did
let's
that.
take a picture.
Yeah, the ego, aren't I wonderful, I'm great. So what I tend to do, and I have two go-tos when I'm feeling down or depressed or anxious or whatever. I try and actually think of that there are always people worse off than me,
Yeah.
because a lot of our attitudes come from things like self-pity, or oh, it's not fair, why is it happening to me, it's all me centric. Why not me? I like to humble. I try and practice humility. Humility is a thing I have a real problem with, because I'm very grandiose and I have an intergalactic sized ego, which is slightly problematic. So I'm just pushing that thing down constantly, like Jack in the Box, right? So I try to have to practice the humility bit, because I try and look at myself as, when I get seriously into ego, I look at it, I visualize a sandy beach, and I know that I am just a grain in that on that beach. I am really in this huge universe. I am absolutely nothing. Then I get really depressed, right? And I think, well, what's the point?
Well,
I
I like that. The sand one, but you also say, take a teaspoon and say you're a teaspoon of the ocean, right? So you're just a teaspoon of the ocean, but then you are the ocean. So you never really you're still always.
But then I think, no, exactly. Then I think, I just want to leave on a positive note, right? So that's not
right.
you're a grain of sand. That's it. But actually, then I think because the grains of sand, it's the sand that works as a unifying force together, and that is the unifying power and the force of the universe. And that then gives me the freedom and the energy to think. Actually, I am interconnected to everybody here.
We got to
And
know
actually,
it.
when something's not going right for me, it's all that's happened is something within me is just not right. It's got
Yep.
nothing to do with anybody else. It's just got to do with me, and that it's never failed me yet.
Mm.
You know, and when I'm
Right. And all
really
that can be adjusted.
yeah,
Mm.
It can
absolutely.
be
And but
adjusted.
it's a process. And what shocked me when I first became an entrepreneur from the corporate world. So I was a lawyer, you know, and the thing is, it's a very supported community being a lawyer. You know, you got tight deadlines, but you know, it's fun in a way, you know, because you're very well looked after. But when I became an entrepreneur, suddenly the loneliness I felt. It was a sort of weird feeling. It was like, oh my gosh, this is it now. Where's the support cast? Where's everybody else? You know, everyone else has exited the building. You know,
Yeah.
and I had to start to learn these things, Lisa. You know, and I'll be learning it from you too going forward. But you know, all of this stuff I had to learn because when I was in corporate, I didn't have to think about those things. It was okay to suppress all of that because it wasn't relevant, right?
Right. And suppression is never good. That's so many
Of
problems come from
course,
that.
of course, it all comes out. As I say, look at my bulges. It's coming out sideways, upways, whichever way.
This is a really important point. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, go ahead and finish your thought. I was just saying that while you were gone, I asked the question to go around the room, something
Oh, I see.
that
Okay.
something that you do, one or two things that you do that help to fuel your grit and help to keep you energized as it relates to carrying on regardless.
Okay, right. Let's finish this one first.
Yep.
So, on the note of helping others, um, there is no such thing like you're helping others and you're not helping yourself. Simply, you are not like an island in the middle of nowhere. You exist in a community. You exist in certain environment and you're part of this environment. So what you put in will affect everyone, whether you like it or not. But simply, this is the thing what most people don't understand. And I'll come back to Larry's point. That simply being an entrepreneur is the loneliest place of them all. And the reason for this is while you are in the space of, oh, I just started this business, everything's going to be everything's going to be amazing. I will change the world. Yeah, this is what you put out there as like a facade. On the inside, you are like, oh, damn, like no one's coming, no one's asking for anything, no one's helping out. I have to do everything myself. Yet you still try to convince yourself, oh, I got this, while you're totally out of control. So simply, this is why it's so difficult, and this is why so many entrepreneurs just quit, because they will figure out that, all right, whatever I had tried to achieve through this business, I can actually do without it because I don't want to put up with the pain of going through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
And that's
asking,
an emotion. That's
yes,
a strong emotion, but that's how we feel. And most of the time, we're always running from feeling something, and so that just falls right in line. You fail in business or feel like you failed, and then you're discouraged, and then to try to recover from that and pick up the resilience to pick up and keep going, you have to be a certain type of person in your mind to say, you know what, I lost a lot of money. That business didn't go well, but I'm going to try this and keep
yes,
going. And you have to be
100%.
able to feel, you can't run from your feelings. You just can't.
Yeah, you can't deny them. But at the same time, a lot of businesses start by a virtue of like setting themselves apart from a bigger entity. So simply like sprouting sideways. So simply you are working in a corporate like Larry worked in a big law firm, and then you'll decide, oh, I can actually do this thing on my own, and I can be even better than this whole gang around me. Um, while as a lawyer, yes, you can be brilliant, but you are forgetting there's sales department, marketing department, there's operations, there's cleaners, there's all of these people you are not thinking about as a lawyer, and simply in your tiny world inside your head is, oh, I have this. I can do this on my own. Then you go out there, get punched in the face a few times, and say, all right, this didn't work out. So there comes a point where you need to decide, okay, am I gonna take more punches on my face, or I'm really going to go back to like the training center and do some practice before I walk in again. So this is the moment where you either will go professional and start learning those things you need to know once you are in the ring to be effective in handling what's going to happen there, or you will quit because simply you don't want any more punches.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Hey, Rob. Before Peter, you do what you do yours. Rob, I know that you will probably have to jump off right before we end this. So, can you share with folks one or two things that you do as it relates to ensuring and being intentional about uh, cultivating this spirit and this attitude that allows you to carry on regardless?
Mm, I just love hearing you ask the question. I love the thought of that. Lisa, what she opened up with when she said gratitude, that's the first thing. So, and it's the morning. Well, people don't understand. What's up, love? I love my life. And she knows this too. The first thing in the morning. And by the way, everyone, the most impressionable time of your life is going to be first thing in the morning. Meaning, when you're going to make the greatest impression on yourself, like consciously, it is first thing in the morning when you first wake up. When you first wake up, those first 5-10 minutes, especially those 5 moments. And so what I like to do is I put something on that's going to inspire me. Not just a nice classical piano, and I get in the shower and I think these great thoughts and I take some deep breaths. When I say deep breaths, I mean nice deep breaths. I have a glass of water also. I have my water bottle at my side, by the side of the bed. So I have this inner bath, that's what we call it, right? So just think about this. As soon as I wake up, I have an attitude of gratitude, I call it. I call it the thankful three. Think of at least 3 things you're thankful for. Boom, you run through that. Take that deep breath in. Take that water down, inner bath. Put on something that's going to inspire you, move you forward. I'm already ready to rock. I'm inside my spirit, inspired. Get in the shower, get out, feel good. And then I'm doing little exercises. Now, I prime my day. And then, okay, I've already, the night before, I already know what I'm doing that day. This is big too. This is almost just as big. Knowing what you're going to be doing. Well, it sounds crazy, right? But if you actually know what you're going to be doing, it's less thinking you have to do about that. Guess what happens when you have less thinking you have to do? You feel freer. Now you actually get more things done in less time. I'm sorry to sound like automation. That's what a habit does. It automatically builds these kind of things into your life. So, find a way that the first moments of your day, do not get on the phone, start checking text messages and emails. It's literally like focused suicide. It's straight up. It's the worst thing. As a matter of fact, they did a study. Every time you look at your phone and check an email or something, especially in the morning, you lessen your IQ. You lessen your IQ every time you thrash, especially in the morning. So don't do that. What's up, Lance? Lance just popped out of nowhere. Look.
I'm just,
So
I was listening in.
yeah, what's up, brother? So that's basically it, man. That's my routine every single day, probably for the last 6-7 years. Before that I had some other thing I was doing at work, but this is better, and so I love it, and I would try it. Think about your mornings, and plan your days. Hello, that's it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, man. We got about five, let's call it 5 or 10, 7, 8 minutes left. Listen, Lance, if since we're gonna put you on the spot since you came in, welcome, Lance. Lance is also a part of this group.
Hey,
Listen, we're talking about the power of carrying on regardless. And there's so many things that came out of this conversation around mindset, around attitude, around getting out of your own way, around being consistent. There's so many things that came out of this conversation. And these
yeah,
are the kinds of conversations, and this is the kind of encouragement and emotional, psychological, and business support that you get from being a part of the Love Entrepreneurs family. So if you're not a part of the Love Entrepreneurs family, you need to connect to anybody that you see on this screen right now. Ask them about Love Entrepreneurs and how they can become a part of a fellowship that is designed and is intentional about helping ordinary people build extraordinary businesses, because that's what we're all about. So make sure that you are asking about that. We talked about the big fix and what that is and why that is important to your business and to you building up yourself in a way that allows you to carry on regardless. So make sure that you contact any of us if you want to be a part of the big fix. Listen, Lance, give us one or two things that you do on a daily basis that allows you to be intentional about keeping the resilience in you, keeping the grit in you, and allowing you the fortitude to carry on regardless.
Well, I think first of all, just thinking about the big fix that I just had, it kind of reminded me about the resiliency that you have to have just in general of, you know, no means next opportunity. That's what it stands for. It means this didn't work, but that doesn't mean there's not something that won't work. You know, I actually, and I don't want to blame it only on the ADHD, but I have more, and I have more of an obsessive personality myself. So I don't struggle with this as much as I struggle with balancing the other side, because when I get fixated on something, I'm going to prove that either it works or it doesn't work. And I can only do that with experimentation. So I would think, for me, experiment. And just because you did it once and it doesn't work doesn't mean it won't ever work again. It just may not, no, it just might not work now. You're not set up, your infrastructure is not there yet. So that doesn't mean you don't keep that idea to the side or put it off to a corner, because you came up with it for a reason. Something that Ellery even says, she said to me one time, she was like, it came out for a reason. Your brain thinks of things for a reason, and it connects them to other things. So if it didn't, if you were kind of you were kind of inherently spoke it out, it's going to be something important. So don't throw it away. Just like artists, whenever they make a rough draft, don't ball it up and throw it in the trash. Save it, because as you're seeing the development, you're going to see what it used to be. Because once you throw it away, you forgot. Well, I think the ear was lower or a chin was higher, but you don't know because you threw it away. So save the things that you did, that don't work, because they don't work now, or they don't work in that scenario or for that particular scene. So I think for me in the business, my approach that I find with Love Entrepreneurs that's helped me so much is to see that there's other people out here doing this too, and they can help you through it. Mindset is something that helps, that you need to share with other people. Like you were saying too, that resiliency, you can do it. And not only can you do it, but now we can watch you do it, we can help you do it, and after you do it, we can celebrate with you. So profit from your joy, right? And take joy in your profit, or vice versa. Take joy in your profit when something goes good, but profit from the joy that it gives you, and get that again. Something, that I think is important. So that's what I take from it. Always take the good with the bad, and sometimes the bad with the good. And it works for me with my phone system too. I smile before I dial. I smile as I dial, and then I make my dial smile, which is important. Get your other person on the other line to smile, because you can tell whether or not they're picking up on the phone, and then eventually your dial will smile. Your smile will dial for you. So smile before you dial, smile as you dial, and then you make your dial smile, and then eventually you'll get your smile to dial again, or the person that you made smile will call you back. Leave a good voicemail. But it all starts with one simple thing. There's even a video of a Chinese dude, where I think it's Asian dude, he's sitting over there and he's about to get into his classroom. He's like, and he walks into the room with all of this vigor. You've probably seen it. It went on LinkedIn for a while. And it was just, that's a mindset you have to have. Like, I feel like this, but if I feel like this and they see it, I'm going to destroy their ability to learn. I do it with the choir and stuff too. If I give 100%, they're only going to give me 80 or 75. I got to give 110, 115 in my emotions and everything, because they're going to need that to be just where they need to be. So
That's energy transfer. That's all you tell. That's
yes,
all you're saying is energy
that's why,
transfer.
and they feed off of it, and then they give it back. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
awesome.
love it. That is awesome. Listen, if you're just joining this, we're talking about the power to carry on regardless. And if you're just joining this, you're going to have to watch the replay because we're coming down to the very end of it. So many great things have come out of this conversation as it relates to how you can personally and professionally carry on regardless. And to wrap a bow around it, one of the things that came out of this conversation is that you need to be intentional about getting in a community. And if you are going to be intentional about getting in a community, here's one for you. You don't even have to search. There's one for you, and it's called Love Entrepreneurs. And Love Entrepreneurs is a fellowship, a community of like-minded individuals, like the people you see on this screen, like myself, who are willing to help each other, willing to learn from each other, willing to grow together, and as Lance just said, willing to celebrate our success together. And if you want to be a part of that, this is the place that you want to be. It is a fellowship designed to help ordinary people build extraordinary businesses. We use the big fix and other methods to make sure that you go from, I'm gonna use your phrase, Illyri, from zero to hero with a good guy like my man Peter in the fastest time possible, with your head on right, because you are hanging out with Lisa and making sure that you are in the right frame of mind and that your smile is dialing for you with my man Lance. And these are the kinds of individuals that make up this organization that is going to propel you into a space where you can consistently carry on regardless. And on top of that, there is a currency that is drafted and created for you to be able to do business amongst the individuals that are in this group, which now allows you to hit the ground running. So after you've got your head right and you're in the right frame of mind and you're smiling before you dial and you're being consistent and you're getting out of your own way and moving your ego out of the way, now you can actually hit the ground running doing business with the same individuals that have helped you get in a space where you can carry on regardless. And so I thank you guys for being here. Lisa, thank you so much. Illyri, thank you. Peter, Lance, and my good buddy Rob, who had to leave early. Thank you so much for just pouring into us. I got so much out of this. Listen, I didn't even introduce myself and who I was and what I do, and I didn't even talk about the stuff that I do, but it's okay because I felt like you were pouring into me. And for those of you who are watching, this is the kind of thing that will happen on a daily and weekly basis if you find yourself as a part of Love Entrepreneurs. So make sure that you're contacting anybody that you see around this screen. Anybody got some last words before we get out?
I just wanted to shout you out, give you a quick commercial. If you want to do this with your significant other, your partner, and be able to go through this together, because I mean, it's one thing to do it by yourself to get your mind ready, but to share that and sometimes, you know, and shoulder some of that when they're at 80%, you got to be at that extra 20 for them. Hey, Oliver is the guy. He actually does those things in person, or you know, virtually as well. So reach out to him as well. If this is this times 10 with your partner. Wow, it's awesome. Thank you.
And I'd also just add to that Oliver does if anybody out there wants the world's best commercial podcast tuition video anything. Oliver sells sand to the Arabs. Guess what, guys? It's official. He is Saudi Arabia's new voice man and coming to a place near you right now. But he is, we call him the Voice. That's our nickname for him. But yeah, he has that perfect voice. So if any of you are struggling for a front man for your business, then he's the guy.
Much appreciated. And listen, and some of the encouragement, a large part of the encouragement to even step into the video space and the voiceover space outside of what I do for my own business came from me sitting in the Big Fix. So look how that ties in. I sat in the Big Fix, and these folk told me, hey, you're sitting on a gold mine of things that you do for yourself that you could be doing for other folks, and then gave me
Mhm.
ideas and tips and tools on how to implement that. So this is the space that you want to be in. This is it right here.
With that business supermarket, he's that top shelf product, right?
I don't
I
know.
love it.
That end cap, right?
I love it. I love it. So listen, guys, this is been sponsored by Love Entrepreneurs. Again, if you want more information, connect with any of the individuals that are around the screen, whatever platform you might be watching this on. I think most of you are watching this on LinkedIn. We are all on LinkedIn. You can connect with us and find out how you can be a part of this, how you can participate in the Big Fix, how you can contribute, because it's not just about participating and getting everything. It's also about what you have to give, because you do have something. You are just as special as everybody on this screen, and you have something to offer. So we want to leave you with this as you go throughout the rest of your days and the rest of your week and throughout the weekend. Make sure that you are putting these things into practice that you heard today that will allow you the power to carry on regardless. We'll see you next time.